Ooh, man, oh man, oh man. As of present, you getting nothing but Drayton, 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 and more Drayton. And this is officially off the rim.
Ain't no way around it. Ain't no way around it. Cause I'm tryna ball out. Come on if you bout it. But you better keep up. I'm not slowing down. I swear they gon' see us. Ain't no way around it.
Live from the illest place in the world, Philadelphia. Everybody stand up, Philly stand up. I got a special love in my heart for the city of Philadelphia. It is the first place I ever have been robbed. Yes, they move like that out here. But alright, let's get into that fast break. Can we get a special round of applause for my man JK, Jason Candell, with the major promotion? It's not very often that you see somebody taking such a major step, especially somebody that I shared the broadcast booth with. He's an amazing guy. He works his tail off, and somebody like that getting recognized. I know the media team doesn't always get the love that they deserve, but make sure y'all clap it up for my boy JK. Now let's get into that oh my god moment. There's a litany of things that could have been in the oh my god moment, but we got to talk about somebody stepping out of another man's shadow. Dylan Bannon from Missouri stepping up in a major way. 20 points, 19 rebounds. I I love to cover the prep game, but somebody like Dylan Bannon from Missouri, that's a oh my god moment.
Oh my God!
Shocker of the week. And this news hits everybody in the prep circuit crazy, as this could mean potentially the loss of a coach either this season or next season. Adrian Autry from Syracuse has been relieved of his coaching duties after starting the season 0-9. Generally, coaches don't get fired this early, but when it's a team as prestigious as Syracuse, I think the backers and the athletic director had enough. They said, all right, you got to keep it pushing, guy. 0-9 is intolerable for a team of this prestige, and they told him bounce like a bad check.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Time for everybody what they tune in for. The Wrap It Up. I'm going to go over briefly all the games that happened this Saturday. Some of the games were live, some of the games weren't. I had the pleasure of watching all of them. If you got to watch the local stream, you seen Philadelphia versus Bad Boys. Now, Bad Boys started off blazing hot. Philadelphia started off slow. They're a team not known for shooting well, but if you ask me, I'm not sure if Deuce Turner missed a single shot this game. I seen him taking crazy step backs, dribble pull ups. He generally looked at everybody like an adversary, and the only thing he cared about was getting buckets. With the local scouts from Temple in attendance, he showed them that they made the right choice by offering him, as Deuce Turner led that Philadelphia team to a 92-71 point victory after they started down 0-17. The next game I had the pleasure of watching was Gotham 5 versus Lakeshore Drive. Emil Griffin, I think a lot of people are sleeping on him, and I think this tournament was probably the perfect chance to wake you up. He's Folgers in that morning coffee. If you drink coffee, you want some coffee? Shout out my man Skinny, but Emil Griffin is definitely one of those ones. He does everything well. His game is elite, offensive and somewhat defensively. I would like to see him contest more jumpers. Gotham throttled Lakeshore Drive to start the tournament. They won 75-56. The next game that was on the local broadcast was Philadelphia versus Oceana. Now Oceana had Kyron Taylor magically start hooping. Not really familiar with his game. It's hard to watch everybody, especially some of those overseas guys. But him and Torian Samora definitely seem like they're worth the eyes. Any college team that's looking for bonus guards or guards that you're willing to develop, there's two right there in Australia. In Philadelphia, the team that won, Monster Monte Parsons, literally couldn't be stopped. Absolute hooper, dominated on offense and defense, crashed the glass like it was nobody's business. Can I get an OH to the IO as he is committed, verbally committed to Ohio State, my alma mater. The next game was Gotham 5 versus the AT Aliens. Emil Griffin, Emil Griffin, Emil Griffin. I can't talk enough about this kid as he literally is a special talent. And I think the more people watch him, they're going to realize that he is one of those upper caliber wings. He can play the two, he can play the three, he can play the four. And if you really, 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 really need it, and you shouldn't, he could play the five. Frey Maxwell is an elite scorer. He did what he usually did. He shot like 90% from the field. I don't think he missed a single shot in that game. Wish he got more shot attempts, but sometimes you get the shots that you can. Sometimes you don't get the shots that you can. It's really that simple. Lakeshore Drive gets another game, but they faced the AT Aliens and they completely dominated them. This is another case, an example of BTA, belt to hind parts. Uh, Millie G and Jermaine Duckworth was not familiar with y'all game, but both of y'all came to hoop. And when I say y'all came to hoop, y'all completely dominated this game. Felt like y'all didn't really miss the entire game. And I don't know what to say. Jermaine Duckworth from top to bottom. That's one of those games that those teams that those scouts that were in attendance are definitely going to be looking more to see from more to see more from you as you completely dominated in this game. Now, Bad Boys versus Oceana was a battle of teams that hadn't won yet, and neither team were playing like they had ever lost. Completely competitive game. Some players that I wasn't really familiar with, because like I said, it's hard to keep track of literally all the amazing talent that's in SimWorld Prep. Now, please forgive me, I'm gonna butcher this name. Kalinick Jokic or Jokic, however you pronounce your name. I'm sorry for butchering your name. 15 points, but it was 15 points of pure dominance. Complete hooper, one of those guys that's going to be a stud at the next level. He generally can just put the ball in the basket with relative ease. Victor Noggle stepped up. Torian Samoris coming off the bench. I know a lot of people were complaining that he was coming off the bench, but sometimes you have to understand that in prep basketball, everybody's a role player. Some people's roles are a little different, but when you're an elite scorer and a subpar playmaker and a subpar defender and a subpar athlete and a subpar rebounder, yeah, sometimes it just makes sense for you to come off the bench and face the second unit defense where you can just focus on getting nothing but buckets. And then we moved on to the semifinals, the games that really mattered. Philadelphia faced LSD, but there was no drug use here as Abdul Salamanca proved everybody, and especially some of his critics, I won't name them, that he is a bona fide hooper. They call him the Salamander because he gets it slimy and he's slithery and he's going to get whatever he wants whenever he needs it. Felt like he didn't miss that entire game. Finished the game with 28 points as Philadelphia eases away against LSD 76-69. Now, Gotham 5, I think that a lot of people either underestimated them or wasn't looking at some of these players' high school tapes and their open run tapes and all that stuff because everybody in this game, they had multiple players get it done. They had 5 players in double digits. Everybody on this team was contributing. Bad Boys basketball, they were in the zone, and it seemed like the zone was working for a little bit, and then wasn't, and then was, and then wasn't, and there was a lot of back and forth, kind of like a seesaw. And Kalinick Jokic back again, completely hooping. I know a lot of you stat sheet gurus and box score hunters will see that he went 10 for 23, but if you go and watch the game, it doesn't feel like he missed as many shots as it ultimately shows up on the box score. You got to focus on the hoops because some of those shots were taken late in the shot clock and him just trying to rally his team back. And those shots never, in my opinion, actually hurt your field goal percentage. The championship game. Jesus Christ, boy, did we get a treat. Emil Griffin faced Monster Monte Parsons, and they went back and forth, a literal duel of monsters. Tony Henderson came up big defensively. A lot of people sleep on Tony Henderson. Wake up. Uh, I think the 7 blocks is literally ungodly in the prep game. He literally smacked everything that came his way. The Salamander, the MVP of the tournament. Literally dominated every chance that he got. 21 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, a block. He was fouled a couple of times. He did everything you asked of him. He did. He's definitely walking away with more offers than he came into with. Amir Tyson, wasn't familiar with your game. You definitely stepped up in a major way. But ultimately, Philadelphia came away out of this slugfest winning 73-66 as Miguel Santiago couldn't get those timely buckets that would have gave them the lead. Now we got to get into that rebound clip. This guy literally oozes talent. And when I say oozes talent, I mean he has it all. At 6'10", 217 pounds, I think what a lot of SWBA teams are looking for, he literally does it all. He can shoot, he can rebound, he can play make, he can finish off the glass. He's a willing passer. His eyes are always up on the court, and he can handle the ball. I liken him to young Giannis, not the current Giannis that's just an athletic monster and literally just more physical than everybody, but a player whose game is unrefined enough that he's willing to do whatever it takes to be effective on the court. His only real weakness is probably that he's not the greatest defender. He's a good rebounder, and some people think that equates to defense. I personally don't. But when you look at how athletic he is and how he moves on the court and how he looks to get his guys involved, and Dime at 6'10", 217 pounds, I think he's the crown jewel prospect out of SimWorld Africa, and he's only 16 years old. I think it's hard, really, really hard for me to think that he isn't the number one player coming into that class of that next year's class. And then in 2 years after that, it's hard to see him not as at least a lottery pick. I see him as being the future number one pick, because if he grows another inch or adds any more weight to his frame, he literally becomes a LeBron-esque player. What y'all think? Y'all think I'm wilding? Y'all think I'm tripping? You trying to get it off the rim, sucker? But as always, SimWorld, the only place you can see the game, be the game. We out.
Ain't no way around it. Ain't no way around it. Cause I'm tryna ball out. Come on if you bout it. But you better keep up. I'm not slowing down.